Shabbat Shalom, y'all. This week's Torah portion, Ki Tisa, with Shabbat Parah, is a tale of two cows, one that's gold and one red. The golden calf was to be worshipped at a time when doubts infiltrated hope. The red heifer was used to repurify the body after a loss. Both of these cows have an important place in our story as a Jewish people and individually. Parashat Ki Tisa tells the story of the golden calf. After 40 days of Moses being up on Mount Sinai, the Israelites gave in to their doubts in Moses and fear of being forgotten by Adonai. They fell back on their old ways and built a gold idol, a calf. The utter panic at being lost and left alone in the desert drove our people to a low moment. I'm sure each of us have experienced that. We've all experienced that bone-deep panic before. When that happens, we fall back on what we know, what we've done before. That survival instinct kicks in, and we lose what we currently are and who we currently are in the process. These Israelites have had a very traumatic and distressing relationship with Adonai. They escaped slavery only to once again be abandoned. This story is about what happens next, the second chance we receive to do and be better. How do we find our way back to who we were before this panic? How do we heal from our past trauma to never lose ourselves in those instincts again? How do we recover? How can we recover? After the golden calf is destroyed and the first set of tablets with it, we're given a second chance. Moses returns to the top of Mount Sinai, and we're given a do-over. Adonai is giving us grace and understanding, demonstrating for us that even when there was a catastrophic failure, a time of total disrespect and disregard, we have the opportunity to rise up and try again. We've all failed at something before. It might have been as simple as a test in school or falling short in a relationship, but acknowledging that failure, apologizing for it, are the first relatively easy steps. It's like when a parent tells a child to say you're sorry, even though they might not understand why. The hard part is taking the time to deeply examine why you reacted the way you did, and then working to do better. A second chance doesn't mean disregarding the impact of your actions. You can't put toothpaste back in the tube. A second chance is about growing emotionally and spiritually from this failure. This is often not a solo endeavor, and that can be seen in our special maftir today. On Shabbat Parah, we read a special maftir from Parashat Chukat. Chukat has a lot going on, and as one of my favorite Jewish scholars, Richard Allen, summed up pretty well, tragic. It's so tragic. I just read the saddest story ever. From Parsha Place. The beginning of Chukat, the part that we read today, discusses the cleansing ritual required after coming into contact with a dead body. This is where our other cow comes in. A red heifer with no blemishes or defects is required to be sacrificed and burned. The cow's ashes are then collected and deposited in a pure place outside of camp. Once a death has occurred, the only way to become pure again is for someone to sprinkle water mixed with the ashes on them on the third and seventh day after the death. However, the act of purifying someone leaves the person performing the ritual impure until nightfall. Why is it that the only way to be purified after a death requires not only the death of a cow, but renders the ritual performer impure for a time? Why is it that the same act of cleansing is good for one but not the other? When a tragedy or a traumatic incident occurs, we often rely on others to help bring us back to who we were before the event. We can't do it just by ourselves. We need someone to repurify us. Instead of water and ashes of a cow, we now use this newfangled technology called therapy. We need someone who can help share the burden of impurity or the memory of a trauma, even for a short time. This person might be a friend, might be a chazan, might be a rabbi, or a therapist. The important part is that they are somebody to you, not just somebody. While these acts don't wash away the pain, it provides a chance to reconnect when you're in a vulnerable position. There's a story on a TV show that I love that I think exemplifies this sense of community. I'm not gonna tell you the whole thing, it's a little bit long, but to summarize, when you're walking down the street and you fall into a hole that you can't get out of, keep asking for help. Even if people keep walking by, can't help. Eventually, one of the people walking by will be a friend who will be willing to jump in the hole with you because they've been there before and they can show you the way out. The true strength of ourselves and our relationships lies in the ability to repair, both repairing ourselves and being there for others. So ask for forgiveness, examine and improve yourself, and be ready and willing to jump into the hole for a friend. Shabbat shalom.